Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Tuesday. What am I thinking? It's Tuesday. My name is Dustin. Thank you for being here with this live. Tonight, we're talking about missing the point. And the reason why I'm calling tonight Missing the Point is for the last few days on Twitter, a lot of people have been discussing the issue with LMNT, the maltodextrin, and everything going on with LMNT, where catch any of you up that may not be aware, LMNT for a long time had told all of us that there were only 4 milligrams of maltodextrin per packet of LMNT. To find out from a random entry in a blog post about natural flavors that there were in fact 250 to 550 milligrams of maltodextrin per packet, leaving some to say, well, there's only 0.4 grams of maltodextrin per packet. Why are you making such a big deal about this? And I have been talking about my feelings and why I want to make a big deal about this is the fact that if I am spending hard-earned money on a product and that product tells me there is 4 milligrams of whatever ingredient is there, whatever ingredient, doesn't matter what ingredient it is, but it tells me there's 4 milligrams of an ingredient, and then it finds out that there's 100 times more of that ingredient than they had told me to begin with, and they didn't tell me, that's an issue with me. I don't care if it's maltodextrin. I don't care if it's whatever ingredient. I don't care. They should be telling their consumer base that there is a mass amount change of an ingredient listed under natural flavors that people, especially in our community, are going to be looking at. Now, I understand that there's a lot of people out there saying that, well, that's only a half a gram of carbohydrates per packet. Not a huge deal. Not a big deal to people who don't really track their blood sugars. Not a huge deal to people who are not living a ketogenic lifestyle or not living a carnivore lifestyle, that kind of thing. Not a huge deal to a lot of people. And they're also asking, why is it such a big deal to those of us who do care about the maltodextrin? And my response is still the same. I'm not upset about the maltodextrin. I'm upset about the lack of transparency. I'm upset that they found out that it's 100x difference or 100x different amount of an ingredient, and they didn't bother to actually come forward and tell us. That's what really gets me. And I've seen people like Mark Sisson, who is the founder of Primal Kitchen. He started Primal Kitchen in 2015, I think it is. I could be wrong. 2014, 2015, something like that. And he says that we are being like blowing this way out of proportion, that it's a half a gram of carbohydrates in a packet. Not going to really impact somebody. This is coming from somebody who manufactures a product or was involved in manufacturing of a product that catered to our lifestyle. And he's telling us this. So how is that supposed to make me feel about his product line? And I've had my issues with Primal Kitchen in the past as well, with the fact that when they initially released the almond butter buffalo sauce that they carried at Costco, I liked it. And then they went and removed the cashew butter buffalo sauce. They removed the cashew butter out of it, and they added in potato starch. Now, my understanding is they removed the cashew butter because there was nut allergy issues and they could serve a wider audience. I understand that. But then why would they go and add in potato starch? They could have found something else. I'm not in food manufacturing, but as a consumer, that drives me nuts. There's not potato starch in other buffalo sauces. Buffalo sauce should be a hot sauce like Louisiana or whatever it is, Frank's Red Hot and butter. That's really what buffalo sauce is. Whatever you got to do to make it shelf stable, I guess, but still, I digress. But the fact that he's come out and said, why are we making such a big deal about it? And then I even responded to his tweet talking about this with my opinions, well, I mean, this is not a good look for a company who didn't they buried the lead. They buried the lead in a blog post about natural flavors. In the middle of the blog post, it talks about, oh, what about maltodextrin? And then it says there's 250 to 550 milligrams, but they didn't tell anybody. You don't hear a single person that is sponsored by maltodextrin or sponsored by Element talking about this. And I don't really need to go and air their dirty laundry, who they are. We know the creators that are sponsored, and I have nothing against those creators. I would have taken the deal too. I would have been sponsored by Element back then as well because they pay well, and I'm not above that. I probably wouldn't do it now. They wouldn't do it anyway because I am airing dirty laundry. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump in and start saying hello to you wonderful folks. I have been thinking about this all day. This has been bothering me all day. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. Whoo, you guys are on a tangent, it looks like, too. All right. A lot of people saying hi in here. Let's go back and see what's going on here. Whoo, Jennifer Lucas is here. Jeff Foltz is here. Amy is here. Lynn is here. Sean is here. Sean is here. Good evening, Sean. Good evening, everyone. I'm an hour later than normal. I have been at the Kia dealership. Another child is going with a Kia lease. Whew, we should get maybe some sponsorship from Kia or something, right? But the middle child needs a car. Chandra's still there with him. She's still under the weather, can't talk all that well. She wasn't going to be live anyway, but she's sitting there with the boy and his girlfriend, getting it all worked out. Trish Reed is here. Good evening, Trish. It's so good to see you. Oh, yes, it's Amy from Keto Palooza. Fantastic. Lynn, are you going to be at the Friendsgiving November the 9th? Because I have all your stuff. I have all of the 5,000 subscriber giveaway stuff for you. So I still haven't given it to you. We live in the same city. Oh, yes. She says she's awesome, Sauce. How is everyone? I'm doing wonderful. I kind of got that off my chest. Oh, let's see. Shauna says, finally kicking the East Coast, West Coast. She's got that East Coast, West Coast beef. Uh-oh. But she's kicking it. The jet lag. Went back to work the night after I got home. Ooh, no good. Evelyn. Good evening, Evelyn. Shona says, gave myself a week, set up walking with a couple of friends twice a week. Now, that is awesome. That's what we want to do. Yes, Evelyn is beautiful. Ooh, she's saying hi to me. Amy says, I'm drinking up the rest of my LMNT as we speak. I have a whole bunch of it. And I'm still of the favor that if you like the product, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. If you like it and it doesn't bother you, by all means, keep using it. If you are sponsored by them and you want to continue to be sponsored, I'm not the judge. I'm just providing information in my own opinions. I don't think less of any creators who are sponsored by them. I don't think less of any creators who are sponsored by them and didn't say anything because they're contractually obligated probably to not say anything. And I understand that. And that doesn't bother me. My worry is with the company itself. That's my thing. We have a bunch of Element at the house too. We've got the chocolate stuff and chocolate caramel and chocolate mint and all that stuff. I've got plenty of packets of the regular flavors. We've got it. We'll use it over time. But it's not our go-to brand. Let's see. Lynn's asking, did we find suitable car this evening? Let's see. It's not for me. No, it's not for me. No, yeah, we did. He's getting a good car. It looks nice. It's a lease. He's getting a Kia lease. I think they're phasing out the Kia Forte And that's what he's getting. It's the last year, the 2024s, or the last year they're having a Kia Forte. So he's getting one of those, and he'll have it for 3 or 4 years. I'm not exactly sure how long his lease is for, but I had to leave before all the negotiations took place. But you know, we're getting it done. Chandra's holding it down. Yes. Chris Cook in Nashville, how was your live? I appreciate it. Right there with you. I value transparency so much. Yeah, that's my thing. Is like, the amount of maltodextrin is neither here nor there to me. I mean, we were told in the beginning 4 milligrams. That to me is a true negligible amount. We've talked about that with Joe from Two Crazy Ketos. He's talked about that. Other people have talked about it. It's a negligible amount. But then when it find out that it's a half a gram, that's no longer a negligible amount. I mean, it's still a small amount in the grand scheme of everything that we deal with on a daily basis. But that's 100x more than we were told. That's the issue, and they didn't come out and they weren't forthright about it. It's on their website, but my argument was if you didn't know to look for it, you wouldn't have found it. If someone like me didn't get alerted to it and make a video about it and then get tagged in some stuff on Twitter later on, this wouldn't have even been a thing. That's my whole concern about all of it. But anyway, Hungry Heath is in the house. Hey, yo, my buddy Heath is here. Hope you and Shelly are living the life. Let's see. Trish said, talking to Chris, made your best chicken wings last night. Crunchy to the max. Woo. Jennifer Lucas says, there are already too many games being played on labels. If we don't hold them accountable, it will only get worse. I mean, we're already at a 20% disadvantage off the bat. So you figure this, a nutrition label can have a 20% leeway because of manufacturing. Cool. I get it. So we're already at a 20% disadvantage. And then they can round down. They have to round down. So that's why we see, all these things saying that they have 1 gram of carbohydrates. You probably just assume it's 2. Then you look at the serving size and it's 1 tablespoon. Have you ever eaten 1 tablespoon of anything besides like medicine? Have you ever just gone and had 1 tablespoon of peanut butter? No. 1 tablespoon of peanut butter isn't even enough for the sandwich. If you're making a PB&J, you're using at least 2 to 4 tablespoons of peanut butter on your sandwich. And then you're using 2 to 4 tablespoons of jelly. So there's 4 servings of each of those already. And then you're using 2 servings of bread. Because bread, 1 serving is 1 slice of bread. So there's 2 servings of bread, 4 servings of peanut butter, and 4 servings of jelly for a regular ass sandwich. I'm just saying. We're already at a disadvantage because they play with the serving sizes. They play with the percentages. They play with everything. And we have to be the ones to decipher it. And it's exhausting. It really is exhausting. For those of us who truly care about what's going inside our bodies, it's exhausting. We have to be accountable for everything they're not accountable for. We have to ask the questions. We have to consistently reach out to companies and ask them these things because they're not going to volunteer for us. It's exhausting. It is easier just to eat burger and steak and that kind of stuff. It surely is easier to do that. But that's not real life. Real life is much more complicated than being 100% on the point 100% of the time. That's not realistic. So in order for us to be able to find a consistent path that's actually realistic for each and every one of us, and it's all going to look different for each and every one of us. There's probably somebody out there who does live perfectly clean, lion diet, loves it, no issues. Perfect carnivore, loves it, no issues. Perfect clean keto, loves it, no issues. There are those of us that's just not what's in the cards for us. Whether it's life doesn't necessarily allow it, or we like other stuff. And I know Rick will chime in, and that's duck food. That's not real food, it's duck food. Well, I don't care. Sometimes, and I was thinking about this the other day, sometimes I want to pick up a package of bologna and a package of keto bread and just have it. Should I? Absolutely not. Do I know this? Yes. Am I fully aware of it when I'm buying it? Yes. But is that real life? Yes. Transparency. I'm not perfect. And if any of you guys thought I was, transparency is a hell of a thing. I am not perfect. I'm not perfect at keto. I'm not a perfect husband. I'm not a perfect grandpa. I'm not a perfect stepdad. I'm not perfect at anything. None of us are. I'm not a perfect person. Never going to be perfect with keto. That's where my whole idea of consistency comes into play. How consistent can I actually be? Because I know perfection isn't even on the table. It's not realistic. And that's why we're here, right? That's why we have this community. And that's why we're here to help each other. Because your consistency looks different than mine and vice versa and whatever. Anyway, whoo, Andy's in the house. Good evening, Andy. Let's see. That's way shady. It matters to me when companies lie about. I don't necessarily think they lied. I'm not saying that Element lied about anything. They put it on their website. They put the information out there. But that information was only really seen by those who knew it was there. Had I not received a comment on my initial Element videos talking about there's only 4 milligrams of carbohydrates per serving, had someone not reached out to me, left that comment on that video, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. To say they wouldn't eventually come up, of course it would eventually come up. But I wouldn't have gone and looked at it because someone goes, well, they say it's this. And I'm like, okay. So I go and look it up. And I've heard whisperings and stuff like, like the person on the phone, the customer service rep said this or whatever that. So they were probably right all along. But here we are with, with a co-founder of the company telling all of us people that are in the community, no. It's a very menial amount, 4 milligrams. It's all it is. And he's the co-founder of the company. You would figure you could trust that. And I've said it even on the video that I made 2 weeks ago. The fact that when I reached out to him, I DM'd him on Twitter and he responded, where did you see that? Where did you find this information? Where is it at on our website? And he goes, oh, never mind, found it. So, I mean, they don't even necessarily know what's going on. I mean, he's a co-founder. He's not involved in the day-to-day runnings of that company. But I don't necessarily think they lied about anything. I think they had the information they had, and that's what they provided, and that information was not correct. That doesn't make it lying. That's like no more than it was me lying putting out the initial video. I wasn't lying when I said they only had 4 milligrams. I was providing the information that I had. The information that was provided provided to me from what I took to be a reputable source of information, a co-founder of the company. Now, how much can you trust that? Well, you have to have some trust. You have to. Now, would I trust them now? Maybe not. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm not going to go on record and say they lied to us about it. Withheld it, maybe? Maybe. Again, they did put it in the middle of a blog post talking about natural flavors on their website, but didn't make it necessarily. They didn't broadcast it. But again, they're in the business of making money. And realistically, most people don't care. Even when confronted with the information, people goes, well, why are you making such a big deal about it? It's only this amount. So that's what this is about. Trish says, I live in Buffalo, so I kind of had to. I don't know what I must have missed something. Okay. Everyone's saying hello. Someone's saying hello. I don't know who you are. I can't pronounce that. My bad. But thank you for being here nonetheless. Frank's and butter, period. That's right. Frank's Red Hot and butter. That's it. Let's see. You can have other sauces, just don't call them buffalo wings. That's the things. Like, I mean, Buffalo Wild Wings. I like that. I like them. It's fine. I love wings. Wings are delicious. Stacy says we have a right to know when we should. If I'm giving my hard-earned money to a company, I should have more entitlement to the ingredients than not. If I'm giving you money in exchange for something I'm putting in my body, I should have full information of what's in it. And I think right now we're at a major disadvantage that companies and the FDA, they don't necessarily provide us the most accurate of information. But again, I'm not going to say they lied. I'm not going to say that they lied until someone can prove that they did. But I'm not going to be on record saying that they lied. That's not my place. Information came to light. We found it. We're talking about it. That's what we're here to do. I attempted to order sugar-free A&W, hit the wrong entry, ended up with root beer drink mix. My fault. But the powder first ingredient is maltodextrin. And that makes sense. Almost every powdered anything you buy has maltodextrin in it, whether it's powdered stevia, powdered erythrit, and not necessarily the powdered, if you're buying like the little yellow packets, the blue packets, you're going to have dextrose. They're going to have, dextrose, which is basically corn sugar, maltodextrin, which is corn sugar, but not sugar, because not legally sugar according to the FDA until it's in the body. Then it acts just like sugar. But in its form sitting in a packet, it's not sugar. It's just a carrier for natural flavors or a bulking agent for things like stevia or sucralose, which have such small amounts that you have to have something like a carrier like maltodextrin in powder form to carry it. Otherwise, you would think the packet was empty. You'd be like, where is my stuff? There's nothing here. Even when you're buying the liquid sucralose, most of that's water. 99% of it's water because they have to have a carrier. There's not enough sucralose. If they filled that container with sucralose, you wouldn't be able to squirt a small enough amount. You'd probably have like one squirt for a gallon of water. Trish says, so what the heck is going to happen to all these keto YouTubers who have LMNT sponsorships on their videos? I imagine the status quo will continue. I don't think any of them will relinquish, and I wouldn't expect them to. People have bills to pay. I'm not mad at the people who are sponsored by LMNT, but that's what we're here for. We're here in this community. Someone like me is here to make sure people are aware of that. And I don't anticipate anybody who has an LMNT sponsorship to give that up. I mean, they may get pressured by their followers and people who have memberships and whatever to give that up, but I wouldn't expect them to because that pays the bills. YouTube doesn't pay the bills. If you have a big following, you're not making enough to pay the bills, but the sponsorships you have will pay the bills. And everybody has bills to pay. And I'm not mad at the creators who are sponsored by LMNT, not a little bit. Because I know that they have a contract and they can't disclose that information, even if they were aware of it. But anyway, Andy says, I made my choice. I canceled my subscription and bought Clean Slate from Keto Chow. Clean Slate is a perfect example of perfect. Even Clean Slate. So I love Clean Slate. And I also like the unflavored from LMNT. It was also maltodextrin free. There was no flavoring to be carried. So, I mean, realistically, Clean Slate and unflavored from LMNT, they're on par with each other. Like in a blind taste test, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, salty Clean Slate has more of everything in it that I want. So I'm probably going to obviously lean towards Clean Slate, and not necessarily just because I'm an affiliate with them. I don't have, things like this back here. I am affiliated with them. I do have a financial interest in people utilizing clean slate over unflavored from Element, but to me, there was no taste difference. And realistically, you would have to look at the ingredients and decide is the amount of potassium, the amount of magnesium, and the amount of sodium in each one of them which one fits you better. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. I'm never going to tell someone to use something over another one if the other one fits you better. That's why I wouldn't even tell somebody if you have a CGM and you've never noticed a difference, you've never seen any kind of rise or anything in your CGM and you like Element, keep using Element. I don't have a problem with that. That's not for me to decide. Carnivore K says, hello, everyone from WNC. Well, thank you so much for being here, Carnivore K. Truly appreciate you very much. Lynn Danielson's in the house. Good afternoon, Lynn. How are you doing, my friend? James says he and Lisa are there lurking. Lurkers and the lurkers. Or I don't know. I have no idea where I was going with that. My apologies. He says, let's see. This is why we make 90% of all of our sauces and much prefer Redmond Relight or salty over Element. I'm not even 100% sure that Relight is maltodextrin free. I've heard whispers that they have reformulated, and they are. I have a couple of tubs in the pantry or whatever that we have. They were gifted to me by Relight and Dawn Does Keto. They had a meetup this year, and I won a tub from Redmond's, and then I think they sent me 2 tubs. I don't know, it was something. Somebody gave me a tub. I don't know. I got some free tubs. Okay, I got a free tub from our meetup, I think. Yeah. Anyway, Andy says I have hugged the creators of Keto Chow. No skin off my back. I feel you. Amy says, in regards to the amount of maltodextrin element, what about those of us who get stomach issues with it? How do we know how much of it causes stomach issues and how much is too much? That's my thing is like, there is almost a full gram of maltodextrin in a Splenda packet. So half of a Splenda packet is in an element packet, maybe less. Somewhere between a quarter of a gram and a half gram is what's in element. So people are saying 0.4 grams. That's a kind of down the middle, right? So that's not for anybody to say. That's for you if you've tried it and you've had stomach issues after taking Element, and then you have tried Salty or Relight or what other brands are out there and you haven't had any of those issues, then of course it's a no-brainer. Don't use Element. That's perfectly understandable. But I mean, just like, I mean, I understand where a lot of the people that are on Twitter are saying it's such a small amount. Why are you making such a huge fuss? And again, to me, it's not the amount, it's not the ingredient itself. It's the fact that there was 100x difference between what they told us and what's actually in there that makes the difference to me. And they didn't publicly announce it. They just put it in the middle of a blog post. Yeah. Yeah, Stacy says I agree. We have a right to know what we're eating. We should have way more information. There should be far more transparency. And the fact that we don't have transparency leads me to believe that the companies just want to be able to do what they want, and they don't want people to go, "Oh, I don't want that product anymore." And that's the thing. Like, so there was some chip company. I can't think of the name of them. They were a small brand chip company. They made tortilla chips. They were cooked in coconut oil or something, like non-GMO corn chips. They're cooked in whatever, and they're less ingredients than the big brother companies, right? Got bought out by one of the big companies, and everyone's saying, well, they're going to change the ingredients. And then people are coming out, how dare you say that? We've got evidence of this company and this company and this company been bought out, and they didn't change the ingredients. And my question is, even if they don't change the ingredients list stays the same order, everything is the exact same. How do you know that the quality of those ingredients didn't change? How do we know that they didn't decide to go with identical named ingredients from subpar suppliers so that they could look good on paper? They could make a bigger profit. than the small company. Obviously, a big company has far more buying power. They can buy more in bulk, get lower prices. That's the common sense. That just makes sense. But the fact that then they may also be not necessarily so inclined to purchase the best quality or the same quality or light quality ingredients that the original company did. Ingredients list side by side, same. Ingredients on the inside of the package, not the same. That's my question. How do we know that? What kind of assurance do we have? We have zero assurance of that from any of these companies. And they can say 100% satisfaction guarantee, but that doesn't tell me what's in there. That doesn't tell me if you are sourcing the same ingredients. That doesn't tell me if you're sourcing the same quality ingredients. It doesn't tell me any of that at all. And we should be asking these questions. But at the same time, should we have to? That's the question I pose to you tonight. Should we have to put this much work into getting what we pay for? If we're paying a company because they're slating that they have the cleanest, no whatever. I mean, even the element ads right now that are coming across my Facebook page and Instagram page are saying, simple ingredients, no whatever. And then people, it's funny in the comments, like, well, yeah, but there's maltodextrin in this, and there's this, that, and the other. Then you're telling me this, and it's not true. Why should we have to work this hard to get what we pay for? We shouldn't have to work this damn hard. It's ridiculous. No, we read this one. Okay. I agree. We have the right to know what we're eating. Yes. Thanks back from the almost dead and double sassy now. That's right. All the sassy. Here I come, sliding into the conversation. Sherry Reagan, thank you so much for being here. Truly, truly appreciate you. Chris Cook in Nashville was great. I didn't get a chance to check his live. I had my phone on low volume, so I couldn't hear him talk. Did drop into his live, said hello. Just wanted to show some love because I'm sitting at the Keeler dealership was boring. I did have some emergency support. I had was it my emotional support pork rinds? I did try a bag of the the dill pickle, the dill flavored pork rinds from Porking Good. They are pretty good. I got a bag from Tractor Supply Company because that's where they're selling those. If you have a Tractor Supply Company near you, you can head on over and probably find a bag of Porking Good pork rinds. They're like $3 a bag or something like that. So a little more than what Walmart's selling them for. But they were a little old tasting a little bit. I don't know how old they were, how long they've been on the shelf, but they had a little bit of an old flavor to them, but they weren't bad. Dill pickle flavor is weird, but I kept wanting to eat it. So, I don't know if I'll buy another bag or not, but I mean, we do keep plenty of the butterscotch ones in the house if we have a sweet tooth or whatever. Yeah, they have a little bit of sugar in them. What are you going to do, right? Let's see. I know Dustin probably won't make it to the meetup next month. Ugh, I got to get together with you and give you this stuff before it expires. Or I mean, I know we live in the same town. I don't really want to ship it to you across the street. You know what I mean? Evelyn saying hello to everyone. Let's see. See, after visiting with Rachel S., I decided that even though Joe doesn't drink Zit Fizz anymore, doesn't mean I can't still enjoy it. Yeah, that's the thing is we still have some Zit Fizz in the pantry. We got, I want to say I got an unopened box. I got an unopened 30 count box from a yard sale for $5. So if I'm ever in the mood for it, I have some. I don't know. I think they said it gets old, so it might not last all that long. But if I go and try one, it's not good, I'll throw it away. It was $5. Low carb spin. Hey, Karen. Bob's in the house. Hello, Bob. Thank you for being here. Trish and I are very happy to be here. Well, I'm happy that you are here. I'm happy that you are happy. Evelyn said, we had our hometown parade tonight. The kids are going to be high on sugar tomorrow. Yes. Like I tell you what, yesterday I had the girl and we went out. Chandra picked up work. I had the girl. We went out and we went to Tractor Supply Company and she wanted all these toys and they were like 20 some dollars each. I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I did get her some candy. She wanted a bag of candy, and I'm very, you know how I am. I'm very stingy when it comes to her and candy because she doesn't handle sugar very well. She goes off the chain. And so I gave her two pieces of the candy. Serving size was 6. I gave her 2. And then I had to go and get gas at Costco. And since she had to sit in the car, but there was nowhere to go inside at Costco, I got gas. I said, if you were good, I'll give you another piece of candy. And I gave her the piece of candy. And then as we were inside Costco, she got 2 more pieces of candy as we stopped. A friend of mine works at the T-Mobile shop and talked to them for a little bit. And one of his coworkers gave her some candy because she's cute. And that's just the way it works. And then we were walking by Costco at a table set up. And like if you were signing up for one of their credit cards, they'd give you some candy in like a tote bag or whatever. The candy's for the kids. So she got a piece of candy there. And she was crazy. Oh man, that candy. Oh man, crazy, crazy, crazy. Sucks to be you tomorrow. Well, yeah. Right? 1 tablespoon? I know, right? 1 tablespoon per bite. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Jen says, I was 1 slice of bread, no jelly, and a gallon of peanut butter kind of gal. Yes. Lived in your city for 28 years. Who, what city? I don't know what's going on. Where are we living? Where the living's easy. Chris says, I don't even care what they put in the product, just don't want them to make it so hard for us to figure out what it is so we can make informed choices. That's what matters to me in this thing. Yeah, informed choices is the thing, right? My informed choice is you put natural flavors on your ingredients list, which by law is perfectly legal, acceptable. That's the way it's done. I don't even know if there's any way for us to fix that. I don't have no idea if we could ever fix that, where they have to list out what's in there, how much is in there. But we make the best in decisions we can, and as we find little pieces of information, we can make better and better decisions. That's just all we're trying to do. How do we make the best choices if one, when we find out there's an issue, we're kind of like shamed or they joke at us like, how that's crazy. I don't understand how you could be so upset about this. I had somebody tell me, somebody in Twitter was saying there's more glucose in an egg than maltodextrin in a packet of Element. There's a 0.6 grams of sugar in an egg to 0.4 grams of maltodextrin in Element. And he's like, let's not even talk about the glycogen that's in the beef. And my response to that was, we know what's in an egg. We know what's in beef. If it says egg, we know what's in the damn egg. If it says beef, we know what's in the beef. But when it says Element and it says natural flavors, we don't know what's that. We don't even know what's in there. If that a little over half a gram of carbohydrates in an egg bothers you, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's just the thing. I eat a lot of eggs. I do. I love eggs. Eggs are delicious, but I think the nutritional value of an egg versus the whatever small amount of glucose is in there, not a huge deal. There's some glucose in butter. There's carbohydrates in butter. There's carbohydrates in eggs. There's carbohydrates in meat, believe it or not. Not enough. 3 ounces is going to have a 1 gram of carbohydrates. I'm not concerned about it. But that's the thing. We know what's in an egg. We know what's in beef, but I don't have a full understanding or access to information to tell me what's in a packet of electrolytes from Element or really any other company that says natural flavors. We just don't have access to that information. We just don't. Let's see. People are talking about where they live, where they've moved from. Let's see. I agree, Chris. Sometimes I don't always make clean choices. I try to, but at least I want to know if there are bad ingredients, and I want to know I'm making an informed choice. Sometimes I get the worst option possible. Sometimes I get the full sugar something. Sometimes I get real ice cream. Sometimes we buy a pie. But I mean, that's real life. Let's see. Freedom comes in the power of knowledge and then making the choices we want to. Just being able to make the choices and knowing that we're making the best choices we can. I mean, anymore, like you go through a grocery store and there's just so much that's bad. And then even when there's choices you can't make, whether what's in your water, is there fluoride in your water? Where do you get your water if it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like then there's the microplastic issue. There's so much going on that realistically it's an uphill battle every day just to try to do the best we can. We're never going to get away from all of it ever. But we at least want to be informed to the best of our ability to make the best choices we can for ourselves. And that's all I'm really asking. Just Jason Keto's in the house. Good evening, my friend. How are you doing, sir? Steve is here from St. Louis, Missouri. Good evening. Thank you for being here. I know I've seen you here again. Thank you for welcome back. I'm a little tongue tied. I needed something sitting at the dealership, so I got this like sugar-free Gatorade stuff from the gas station. Is that the best choice? It was the best choice at that moment. Something, you know. Let's see. I had Buffalo Wild Wings Saturday in Mishawaka, Indiana, and they have terrible, shriveled up and dry. Next time I'll make them myself. So there's a thing. So like for me, depending on where you go, sometimes Buffalo Wild Wings are shriveled and small. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're good because we used to go on Tuesdays because they do the half price. Used to be half price wings. So you'd buy 20, get 20 free. Now you buy 20, you get 10 for free or whatever, right? You get 20, but you're still paying for 10. So you're paying for 30 wings instead of 40. Whatever. And we get them naked, and sometimes I dip mine in some sauce if I want to. I don't get them slathered in the slathered in the sloth. I don't get them slathered in the sauce. I have them, sometimes I want some of the Caribbean jerk, whatever. It's my choice to make. But yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings, their quality has gone down to some degree, but I think that probably has a lot to do with diminishing returns and chicken wing shortages and all that stuff. I don't know. Let's see. Bob says home cooking is almost always better. Well, that's the thing is like sometimes I don't want to cook wings. Going out for dinner to Buffalo Wild Wings is better for me. I'd so much rather go out for wings, right? I'd much rather go out for wings or going out for pizza. Like there's a pizza place in our town that serves keto pizza. Is it the cleanest possible thing? No. But I don't have to cook it myself. Sometimes going out to a steakhouse is nice because they bring it to you and they do the dishes. That's my thing. Sometimes I just don't want to cook. I don't want to do the dishes afterwards. I want to go eat and I want to go home. And sometimes it's nice just to get out of the house, have someone else do it for me. But you got to put up with there's a trade-off. I mean, I cooking at home, I have full control over whatever's going into my body. I wasn't there to grow the beef, I wasn't there to cut the beef. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is, right? And Amy says that I'm always disappointed at restaurant food and almost always cook at home. I just don't have time. That's the thing is sometimes you just don't want to cook. Going to a restaurant is just sometimes just the best option. And you go with the best option you can while you're there. Oh my goodness. Trish says, I was so glad we had bacon and beef chips made up in the house. Bob brought them to the hospital for me. You can believe that they try to serve me on a low carb diet menu. I don't even want to know. Jen says, I'm still annoyed that Swenson's adds a quarter cup of brown sugar for every pound of ground beef and then refuse to disclose it. That's irresponsible because of diabetics. Yeah, I went to Swenson's one time when it first opened because I was like, okay, what is this place? And I knew exactly what it was when I got there. And it's like basically, like car hop food or whatever, like drive-in food, like the old school drive-in. I mean, you go in, you pull in, you face them, turn your lights on, and they come out and you order, and then they go in and they bring it out to you, and you sit and eat it in your car. I got like the worst stuff. I got like French fries, and I got like onion rings or whatever I got, and I got like a shake. You know what I mean? I got the same thing happened when we got a what's that the chicken finger place, and everybody's got the cane, Raising Canes. We got one of those for the first time. I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. I got the Caniac combo, which was a whole bunch of chicken fingers and then French fries, and they were out of coleslaw, which I didn't want coleslaw anyway. So they gave me more French fries. I'm totally okay with telling you guys what I do because I'm a human being and I try to maintain 98% consistency. I know I'm never going to make 100. Jason says any channel sponsored by Element is going to be big enough that it won't affect them. I don't necessarily think that's true, because my understanding is they didn't start sponsoring channels until 10,000 subscribers. So that's not a very big channel. That's still a small channel. That's still a micro influencer channel. Now, I know that there was some people that had told me that initially when they had about 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers, they had received an email from the company that sets up the sponsorships with Element, and they were offering it to them, but they thought it was fake. They didn't think it was really them or whatever, right? Yeah. Shauna says, oops, impromptu cat nap. She's like, time for Wapner. Anyway, I have clean slate and zesty orange. And my clean slate, I like a little squirt of Mio. I mean, I brought clean slate with me to Keto Palooza, and in the morning before I had my coffee, I would take just a 16-ounce water bottle, put in the clean slate, and then take a squirt of the clear Great Value lemon, just a little bit of lemon. Throw that back. By the time I had my coffee, I was good to go because I try to have some electrolytes before I have my coffee in the morning. I'm not always successful because sometimes coffee comes first, okay? Sometimes coffee comes first. And Jason says, for me, Element is way cheaper to get in Canada. So, I mean, I'm not mad at you. If you use Element, cool. I'm not mad at anybody who uses it. It just won't be something that I recommend necessarily. I mean, if you like the flavors, try it. I just think you got to buy a lot for it to be comparable or comparable in price to other brands is all I got to say. I mean, we use, I don't even know what's in Liquid IV Zero Sugar, but we get it when it's on sale we get it on sale at Costco. It's like $21 for 26 sticks. You get like the citrus or whatever, and you get white peach. It's okay. Chandra likes it better. Chandra likes that flavor. It's not as salty for her. She likes it, so we buy it. I haven't really dove too deep into what's in it. I almost guarantee you there's maltodextrin in it. Then again, like to me, it's not so much the maltodextrin as it is the transparency. But I'm trying not to beat a dead horse here. Oh, let's see. Glad you can get something up there. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, maybe some of us maybe to put the I don't know, like if I were if a box came from my house to yours, does customs open it up? Do they even know where I'm shipping to you? Just from friend to friend, I'm just gonna send you some stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I mean, if I were to just to send you some stuff, you know what I mean? Depending on what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Now a supposed product is known to have bad ingredients, just imagine what other keto products have in it. Oh yeah, I mean, that's my thing. Nothing's perfect. And there's gonna be a lot of things coming to light. I mean, we know like most of the keto branded products in the grocery store or even online that are big on sponsoring, they're probably not good. And that's okay. They still might be better than the initial stuff anyway. Perhaps we should suggest to Element that they insist no maltodextrin like Keto Chow did. I asked Rob Wolf about that early on when he said it was only 4 milligrams. He's like, they said that the alternatives was like was what they try to run. They tried some with the what is it Salty uses. They use hold on, acacia gum. They use acacia gum or gum acacia. And they said that it just didn't taste the same. They didn't like the way it tastes. And I'm like, all right, 4 milligrams, big whoop. 4.4 carbs, a little different. But, what are you going to do? All right, Heath. We'll see you later, my buddy. Be good. Tell Shelly we said hi. Let's see. I would be shocked if they aren't already. I doubt they are. I don't think they care enough. I don't, even with the stink as big as it seems to us, it's probably not even a blip on their radar financially. They lose and gain orders all the time. I highly doubt it probably even matters to them. Because if it mattered to them, we would probably heard something by now. And they've got enough people sticking up for them that it'll probably just kind of disappear in a few days anyway. No one will even talk about it anymore. I mean, I'm already tired of talking about it, and this is important to me. I feel like I've been talking about it for like a week. 2 weeks. I mean, I put the video out 2 weeks ago, and now like it's really starting to. And it's not my video that did it. My video would probably have way more views, but let's see. Let's see. Greg Hamilton, UKPL. Let's see. Emotional support pork rinds. I'm still in that. Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, I have an emotional support hoodie that I wore at KPL. Let's see. Karen says the problem is I ate the whole bag. It says 3 servings. That's the thing. Is you know what I mean? Like, I mean, we know it's 1 bag. It's 1 serving. It just is what it is. Evelyn got a hug from Dr. Barry. I've had a handshake or 2 from the man. I'm okay with that. I mean, he doesn't seem like a huggable person when it comes to like dudes and stuff. So whatever. Let's see. I have a bag of microwavable pork rinds that will last to the end of time. I mean, they have maltodextrin listed on their ingredients. I don't know how much is in there. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you have them in your house and they come in handy in the apocalypse, do whatever. Do you, boo? Do you? Okay. Yeah, we stocked up on them at first when we first found out about them. I'm like, oh wait, what's this maltodextrin stuff? Oh, whatever. Let's see, Amy. That's my KPL 23 pick. KPL 23 pick after he made a friendship bracelet with me. Well, that's awesome. Let's give baggies of them to trick or treaters. Let's see. I liked peanut butter. I still love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Oh my goodness gracious! So I bought the girl some of those Uncrustables for one time, and she never ate them, and I ended up eating them over time. I want things to go to waste, you know. Steph says, I'm on the Element website and can't find the information. You have to Google Element Maltodextrin, and you'll see a thing that comes up that's talking about, it's like a blog post that's element.com or whatever blog post about natural flavors. And then you'll see in about the middle of the article, it'll talk about maltodextrin. That's where it is on their website. That's where it is in the middle of a blog post, in the middle of something you wouldn't find unless you knew what to look for. Shauna says, I had to learn to like actual butter. I'll tell you what, I like peanut butter and butter sandwiches too. I ate a lot of those growing up. Peanut butter and butter, which has got to be better than peanut butter and jelly. And butter's delicious. Let's see. Jen, air frying auntie, or Shauna says, Jen Lucas, we got whole milk in gallons from our neighbor's cows and made our own butter. Not all of it, but a lot. That's good. Churning butter. Juan's in the house. Hello, my friend. Are you in the States? Or are you overseas still? Let's see. Hippie. Let's see. But which one will spike your blood sugar? The egg won't knock me out of ketosis. Maltodextrin does. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I bet you even if you ate a dozen eggs, if you ate 2 dozen eggs, I wonder what your blood glucose would spike to. Probably barely a rise. And that's supposed to be like 2 dozen eggs would be 12 carbs in theory, right? Or even more. It'd be like, let's say 20 carbs for 2 dozen eggs. Probably a little less than that, but just for argument's sake, right? Maritza is here. Hi, everyone, she says. Glad you are here, dear. Let's see. Let's see. How many eggs per day do you eat? I eat at least 6 or 7 per day. We should eat an egg challenge. We should have an egg challenge. It depends on the day. I might go a couple days without having any, but then I might have like a few days in a row where I have 10 to 12 at a time. It really just depends on how I'm feeling. Like right now, I made way too much broccoli cheddar soup. So there's that. And I made the garlic confit with avocado in it, just to see how it's going to turn out when I mash it up and stuff, and see what it goes good on. I'm going to make videos of that stuff. I just got to kind of find what it's going to work well with. It's in the science area under what's the deal with natural flavors article. Okay. Shauna says, I'm going to have eggs for dinner. Well, that's good. Thanks, Jason. I tried searching their site. Yeah. My record is 18 in a day on an egg fast. Big spender. Watch out. Big money coming through. Let's see. Bummer. Today I had a great lunch out. Had a meatloaf burger, veal, pork, beef with melted white cheddar, no bun. That sounds fabulous. Yeah, that's my thing, is they don't make it easy to find. They're not saying, hey, everybody. It's not like in Beetlejuice where it's like, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. He didn't show up. Anyway. Jason says, we don't even have BW3s anymore. Well, that sucks. We never had it here. Do you have a lot more small restaurants where you are? That seems to be kind of like what would be the thing where you are? I don't know. Maybe let me know. Let's see. Thanks so much for filming KPL presentations. I have filmed them too. I got to put them up. I've just been slacking on that. A lot of stuff going on. I didn't record all the presentations. I recorded all the testimonials and stuff. I got to get those up for everybody to watch. Yes. Hit the like button, the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you want to support the channel, ketosimple.shop. The best way to do it. Become a member. You can do that all in one place. Let's see. I won't recommend it anymore either, but it's like $60 cheaper than Salty for the same amount. Even when I was an affiliate, it was too expensive. But yeah, because you're way up in the Great White North. It's probably cheaper for me to buy it and just ship it to you. I don't know how much. The bags of the clean slate stuff is like nothing. I'm going to need a better nap before work tonight. Thanks for the info, Dustin. Take care. Well, good night, dear. We love ya. Well, I still use Element and don't know that I have a problem with it. That's exactly my thing. Is if it doesn't bother you, cool. My point is just to show and provide information. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to eat. I'm here to lead by example. And I'm still not the best example. So I'm a real life person. I make mistakes. I make poor choices. I'm just like everybody else. A lot of people, that's my thing is if you're watching a YouTube channel and they're like, I don't cheat, I think you're a liar. And I'm not going to call you nothing. I'm not going to call you a liar. But I think if there's people out there who is saying, I have never cheated since I started this way of eating 14 years ago, okay. All right, buddy. I mean, maybe they're telling the truth, but that doesn't seem possible because I know my own lived experience. But anyway, let's see. Jason says it's never bothered me either, but I'll probably switch to the raw unflavored in my next order. Yeah. Good evening, Jeremiah, my buddy from down the street. Good evening. Peanut butter, banana, and mayo on toast. Gross. That sounds disgusting, like for real. Like I would rather eat bugs than eat mayo and banana and peanut butter. Let's see. Jen Lucas, I finally decided I'd rather have a food go to waste than go to my waste. I need that kind of a button. I don't know if this will even do anything. Nope. Okay. Oh, Sean says, time for bed. We'll finish watching this in the morning. Have a good night. Thank you for being here, Sean. Good night, sir. Let's see. Exposing Darkness says, I have made pumpkin sausage soup. Oh, I have to make pumpkin sausage soup. I can't wait to eat pumpkin sausage soup. Evelyn says, I make banana fluffernutter fudge. If you bring some to the meetup, maybe Jeremiah will be at the meetup too, November the 9th. LowCarbEvents.com to find out more. LowCarbEvents.com. Oh, it looks like I've made it to the bottom. All right, everybody. Let's see. Whoa, 18 eggs. You're my egg hero. There goes my hero. Let's see. Jason says, I don't cheat intentionally. Not worth it to me, but that's me and the way I have to be to stay on track. And I'm not, and like I said, we don't, that's the thing is like, you're telling me what you tell me and I believe you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's just one of those things where like, I've never cheated and I've done this for 28 years and okay, whatever. I don't know. We're all humans and we make mistakes. I mean, I've made mistakes like even just like I made a video about Sonic and their zero sugar slushies. They have zero sugar syrups that they put in their slushies. But they put the zero sugar syrup on top of full sugar slushies. So it makes no sense at all. Why do they do that? Because they don't know any better. That's my thing. Amy says, I'm making keto white bread for hamburger buns tomorrow. Oh, there's a spread I saw somebody making. I got to figure out who made it. I saw it on Facebook or maybe Twitter. I don't know. It was like eggs and mascarpone and mozzarella cheese and something else. I don't know. It looked pretty good. I don't know. And cheating can be so different for everyone. It's hard to draw a hard line. That's true. Yeah, and Jason says that line gets way blurry way quick for me too. That's why so when we do something like we go out to dinner, we don't bring leftovers home. The problem is if we go and we order a pizza and we bring the pizza home because we don't eat at the restaurant or it's not a restaurant you could eat in, you just order the pizza to go. Then you've got this pizza and it's like, okay, do you order a large pizza for the better deal or do you order the medium pizza and get ripped off? But then you only have a medium pizza. I'm still cheap. Okay? I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, it's Tuesday night. And I'm not doing Toxic Tuesday tonight. I didn't get a chance to rewatch the movie I was supposed to do tonight, Nightmare on Elm Street 1. I might watch it after this. I need to make me some food. I haven't eaten today. I say I haven't eaten. I had like one of the smaller bags of good pork rinds. They're pretty good. I had a couple bites of the pizza ones, and I had a most of a bag of the dill pickle ones. Those are pretty good. Chris said, for sure, for a pumpkin party at work, I use keto chow, or I'm sorry, Chris, sorry, for sure. This is why we just do what is best for us. Try to be daily, better daily and support each other too, not to judge, get dogmatic. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I know. I mean, that's the thing is like I'm not going to judge anybody because I'm not perfect. I'm not here to judge anybody because I make my own mistakes. And I know better. And I still make mistakes. I knowingly make mistakes. Like if I buy, like I just really want bologna sandwiches and I want to eat bologna sandwiches, I'll buy the Eckrich bologna and then I'll buy the whatever the new Walmart brand is because it's cheaper. Of wheat bread, the keto wheat bread. You know? And Evelyn says, I made fudge for a pumpkin party at work. I used keto chow pumpkin spice caramel with Lily's milk chocolate chips. Then I made eggnog fudge for me since I can't eat cinnamon. Okay. Let's see. That Rockstar pizza made for good leftovers the next day last year. Yeah, that stuff is delicious. And it's good in the air fryer. Just toss in the air fryer for a couple of minutes and it's good to go. Jen says, I must be completely retentive here. I went over 2 years consuming 5 chocolate Medifast shakes and water, nothing else. I think people get into this thing like I went basically cheat free on keto for like the first 6 months because I was terrified. I was terrified to mess up. I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to get knocked out of ketosis. And I remember it wasn't even a cheat. We had made vegetables one night and I had too many vegetables because the next day I could feel it. And I was like, well, that's weird. Have a good night, Steph. Thank you for being here. Sherry, thank you for being here. Good night, she says, for the various responses. I enjoy them all. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Have a great night. But yeah, I think, like in the very beginning, I was terrified of making mistakes. I was terrified that I was going to mess this up. I didn't want to be over 400 pounds anymore. And this was like the light at the end of the tunnel. I could see it. I could see a way out. I could see that this was going to change that for me. And I was terrified to mess it up. And then as I've grown and I've learned that I am not a perfect person and that you can't backtrack years of progress in a single night. You can't. Now, you can start the journey of messing up all that progress in a single night, but you have to make good decisions. If you're going to make a bad decision, do it in the right way, I guess. Like if we're going to go out to dinner and have something off plan, don't bring it home. If you're going to go out and buy something and bringing it home, like some popcorn or whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes we just really love popcorn. Popcorn is delicious. I don't care what Rick says. We just buy enough for one night. I don't know. You just got to have to be. The real point of it, that what really comes down to is you have to understand yourself. And if you are somebody who, never straying is the only way you can stay on track, well, then that's what you got to do. Now, I know that staying on track is not going to be for me because eventually I'm going to snap and going to do whatever I'm going to do anyway. So I kind of let it out in controlled bursts from time to time. And then, I get back on track and I do what I got to do. I like to fast every once in a while. I like to do challenges. I like to do all kinds of stuff. I would be interested in doing an egg challenge. I don't want to do an egg fast where you got to do like so many eggs and before you wake up and like you got to eat 6 eggs in your sleep and then I don't want to do that. You got to have so many squares of cheese. I don't want to do that. I just eat eggs all day or whatever. Or maybe combine an egg and sardine fast. Let's eat eggs and sardines. Whatever. 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 Chris says, I did 365 days carnivore, no cheats to prove I could to myself. Then I relaxed a bit and life got much easier. Glad I did. But another thing I find necessary to keep going unendingly. Yeah, that's the thing is I did 100-day, tried to do it was like 100 days carnivore challenge or whatever. It's like 100 days to the end of the year or whatever. And like I got so far in and I was doing any coffee or caffeine, and I was just eating like burger and chicken and bacon and eggs, and I was doing so good, but like then we ended up having like a thing where like I had to drive all the way to Atlanta by myself, and I was like, oh, no caffeine. I made it with no caffeine. And then like I did have a little bit of caffeine because we stopped in and got some fast food, and I ended up getting like a Coke Zero, and I was like, oh my goodness. And then like while we were that was something that was on the way home, maybe. We had stopped at like when we were in South Carolina, and like we stopped at this breakfast place and I had some pancakes. You know what I mean? Like I had like realistically 2 days out of 100 where I didn't do it perfect. To me, I think that's a win for me. It wasn't perfect, but it was still a win for me. How many times did I think the next diet was my last chance? You know? And I mean, realistically, we talked about this when we started, right? And I've told this story a bunch where starting low carb, keto, we didn't know keto was a thing. We started low carb. It was the step. We figured if this didn't work, then we could go down, we could go down the gastric bypass or the surgery route. Because we figured, well, I did low carb, I did going to the gym every day. I tried all kinds of things and like, yeah, I go to the gym every day and eating what I thought was healthy. I lost about 30 pounds, but it took me 6 months. 5 pounds a month is still nothing to really like shake a stick at. But to me, it wasn't enough in my brain. I wasn't ready at the time for that to be enough. And my own psychological bullshit, so to speak, got the best of me. Should I have given up? No, but I did because I wasn't strong enough at the time. I wasn't ready at the time. And I didn't know what good nutrition was. And I struggled with hunger so bad. I would go in, I would leave the gym, and I would go across the street to Subway, and I'd get the flatbread with double egg whites and a little bit of cheese. And I would eat that, and then I'd get a foot long chicken breast sandwich with all the veggies, extra pickle, and all that stuff. And I would have that for lunch. But I would eat the flatbread on my way to work. And then when I got to work, about an hour into being at work, I would already be eating the sandwich. I'd be legitimately feeling like I was going to just starve to death. Seriously. And I'm just like, oh, I can't hold off till 12. Like, what? What? I was bad. I just didn't know. But it was funny too, because we were going to the gym and I was still a smoker at the time. I inadvertently quit somewhere in that neighborhood, right? Quit smoking in that area but I was still smoking, get out of the gym and smoke a cigarette. And then I'd go to Burger King and they had I think dollar breakfast sandwiches or something like that, and I would eat 2 of those. And then I realized that those were 400 calories each. And I'm like, "What? That?" I was everything calories, did fat grams, and I didn't know anything about anything. Carbohydrates, I had no idea about anything. I didn't know. I was just going based on what I thought I might know. Going on what I thought I might know. It was rough, and I'm going to the gym. I was just lifting weights and then getting on the cardio, work my way up to like 30 minutes of cardio a day. Yeah, I was going every day, Monday through Friday. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I was going after work too. Before work and after work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, my goodness. Chris says, understand yourself, love and give grace to others, improve daily, spread good things, rinse and repeat. Yes. One of the hardest things we can do in our lives is understand us. We're complicated. We're, we're just a mess, right? Individually, we're a mess. No matter how much it may seem that we have everything together, we're barely holding on. We're holding on to a pinky. We're just struggling to hold on. No matter who you look at in your life and you think, yeah, I want to be just like them, they have it all figured out. Behind the scenes, they probably have no idea what's going on. Like I always wondered, like, when am I going to feel like an adult? When Shannon and I got together, I would go to the things at the kids' school, and I would be there with her and them, and I didn't feel like a grown up. I'd see the other parents. Other parents looked like grown ups. I didn't feel like a grown up. I didn't feel like I even looked like a grown up. Like, why am I here? I don't feel like they're going to look at me and think I haven't. But realistically, they don't know. They're just wearing a grown up suit. They're wearing grown up clothes, and I was wearing like a band t-shirt and some shorts. Whatever. Or even if I was wearing a grown up suit, grown up outfit, polo shirt, slacks, I still didn't feel like a grown up because I've never felt like an adult. What does an adult feel like? I don't know. If you figure it out, let me know. That's my thing. Jeremiah says, I gave up ice cream and chips, fries for a year just to stop eating them daily. Now it's a treat when I do have them. Yeah. Amy says, popcorn is probably the single most thing I miss that I can't find a substitute for. I argued with a lady at the movie theater once for buying a kid size, and she was like, you can't refill that. I mean, when we go to the movies, anymore, going to the movies is such one of those things, like, it doesn't even happen that often because, movies that are good anymore aren't even coming out that often. Like, the movies we've gone to see this year, like, we went to see Ghostbusters and Deadpool. And I don't even think we got popcorn for Deadpool. No, we went to see Beetlejuice, and we didn't get popcorn for Beetlejuice. I think we did get popcorn for I'm pretty sure we got popcorn for Deadpool though. So we don't get popcorn every time we go to the movies. Jason says, I do think that relaxing from time to time is really important for some people to maintain their sanity. I've accepted that I need to do to be happy. Yeah. Yeah, you figured out what you need to do to stay on track for you, and that brings happiness. Happiness is small. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness is going out to the car to get something out of the car today, and I look up at the sky and I see the sunset. The sky's got all these awesome colors in it. Fall sunsets are awesome in the early evening. Brisk air, and you're like, oh, this is nice. But it only lasts about a minute because then it's over. And you go back inside and you're done for, that's what it is. But that's happiness. Happiness is knowing that your son is getting a car that's safe and it's going to drive him and get him everywhere he needs to go. Happiness is knowing you can help them get that car and that you have the knowledge to help them do that and the resources to help them do that. And happiness is, taking the granddaughter to Costco and trying samples. And the funny thing is they had this whole milk chocolate milk they were having for a sample, and she doesn't like a lot of stuff. She's very picky she likes white milk, she likes vanilla ice cream, French fries, and then she likes eggs. She eats eggs every day, boiled eggs. Now with boiled eggs, she only eats the white. She doesn't like the middle. Understandable. They're dry and gross. But she likes fully scrambled eggs, and she likes fruit, berries, and all that stuff, right? And so they give her this little cup of chocolate milk. And she goes, nope, I don't like that. And like the utter shock on the person handing out the sample's face was priceless. The shock on their face going, wait, a 6-year-old Doesn't like chocolate milk? What? What? It didn't comprehend. Like the look on his face was absolutely priceless. I wish I could have had a video of it. But, but then it was funny too because they also had like the Kirkland seltzer waters or whatever, the flavored like LaCroix ripoffs or whatever. And she touched 3 cups, so I had to take 3 cups. She didn't like it because she doesn't like fizzy water. She doesn't like soda. She drinks water, milk. That's it. She doesn't. Sometimes she'll drink a juice from time to time, but she doesn't really. Usually, she liked the juice because it had like a Mickey head on it. You've seen those in the grocery store, I'm sure. But that's the thing. Like, I end up having to drink those. The chocolate milk, I could have thrown it away, but you know what I mean. Is a swallow of chocolate milk. Big deal. Oh my goodness. Jen says, I'm much better at abstaining than I can't moderate. That's why if I'm going to do something, I have to have a contingency plan. We're going to eat it and we're not going to bring it home. I don't have any at home. And when I go to the grocery store, I get so furious with me when I get home because I didn't buy myself any snacky foods. I'll buy certain things for Chandra to get her through what she needs to get through. And for myself, I don't buy anything. I'll think about it. I'll look at it, but I don't buy it. Every time. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Again, I'm not perfect, and I will buy the high key Oreo cookies at the grocery store. Buy them from Walmart. You get more in a package than at Kroger. I'm just saying, for the same price. So, sometimes that's just going to be a thing. Or sometimes I'll buy myself some of the Magic Spoon cereal if it's at Costco, and I'll buy myself. I do like the whatever farms milk that you can buy at the grocery, and it's like whole milk and it's like half the carbs of regular milk. I'll buy some of that sometimes because I miss the taste of milk. And there's never been an almond milk, rice milk, whatever milk that was a clear substitute for milk. Now, milk isn't great for us, but if I can have a cup that's 6 grams versus 12 grams, okay, let's do it. Because sometimes milk just hits the spot. And I'm alive and I want to live my life and I don't want to avoid everything all the time. And I know that goes against a lot of the keto mantras you're going to see. I see so many people, they're like, that aisle's poison, that aisle's poison. Well, most likely it is. But the air is poison and the water's poison. And they're not telling us the truth on the packages. And we've got to deal with what we got to deal with. And we've got to make contingencies and we've got to do the best that we can with the information that we have. We got to live life and enjoy life and find happiness in the small things. And let's see. That's what's figuring out works for each of us is all about. And that's what we're here for, to support, to know that we're all different. We're all unique, but we're all humans. And the one thing we have going for us is we're all here together, right? How campy is that? How kumbaya is that? Who's got the campfire? Chris has got the guitar. Kumbaya. Anyway, you guys. Anyway, Evelyn says, I figure at this point in people's lives that are my age, they are deteriorating at a fast rate. Even if it's slow, I'm headed towards health. That's the thing. That's the thing. Amy says, I still wonder when I'm going to grow up. It's a trap. 100% it's a trap. It's a trap. Jason says, it's the truth. Jeremiah says, we went to see Beetlejuice a couple nights ago. Did you go to Brownsburg 8? The best theater there is. We got popcorn. Of course, because it's delicious. And we didn't even have Rick to tell us it's duck food. What do you know about that? He might be on another live. Who knows? Chris Cook in Nashville says, I spend every day trying to ungrow up. Right? Yes. And Jason says, happiness is being able to chase 2 grandkids around all day without having to stop because you're exhausted. That girl wears me out. She wears me down. She's smarter than me. She's got more energy than I do. She just goes and goes and goes and goes. She's an energizer child. Growing up is mandatory. Growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. 1,000%. What's up, Matt Troyce? Thank you for being here, my friend. Keto and Wrestling. Good evening, Keto family. Thank you so much for being here, Matt. I am so glad to see you, my friend. It feels like it has been a million years. Thank you for being here, my friend. Whoo! Something will unalive me eventually. I won't live in fear until then. 1000%. 1000%. Carl is making a recipe of chicken nuggets right now. Recipe from Andy. My lady laugh a lot. I have a whole video that I filmed about chicken nuggets that I never even like edited. They just didn't look the way I wanted them to look. I'm too bougie and too picky. How many videos that I've recorded that didn't edit and didn't because they didn't look the way I wanted them to look? Ugh. I should have done it, and I could still do it, but you know, fear ruins what makes life precious. Say it again for those in the back. Let me check my phone. Let's see if they have texted us on what's going on. This is the car the boy got. You can't see him, but this is his car. It's a new Kia. It's got like the front accents that are red, and it's all nice and shiny and new. We're going to add it to the insurance tonight. Tonight. Whoa. Get busy living or get busy dying. That's the truth. Evelyn says, I saw a funny Halloween shirt you should get for Chandra. It says, bougie, and had a ghost on it. I'm the bougie one, really. Really, at the end of the day, I think I'm the bougie one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Okay. I think it's that time. I still haven't added the extra new people on here that I apologize. Those of you who are new to being members to this channel, I greatly appreciate all of you. Sherry just got off work, driving home and listening. Sherry, well, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy the replay because we're about to end this thing. We've been going for an hour and a half now. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for spending your evening with me, listening to me go on and on and on about the same stuff. But that's what we do here. We have to get it out. We have to let people know what's going on. A lot of cool things in the pipeline coming soon. Next month's going to be some cool stuff. Working on details, working on new friendships, working on new things. I've got to get with Jess and get another Wednesday going with Jess, probably next Wednesday, but I got to confirm that with him. Make sure everything's going to work out. So be on the lookout for Jess and I next Wednesday, most likely. Next Tuesday, Chandra hopefully is going to be back in action, feeling better and having her voice back. I miss her not talking to me very much. She's just whispering. I don't like it. I love it when she talks to me. She's my everything, as you guys know. But with that being said, I love each and every single one of you. All the love, my brother, to Chris Cook in Nashville, to everybody here tonight. Thank you all so very much. Truly, truly means the world to me. Good night, friends. We will see you. I will see you Sunday morning, 7:30 a.m. with some coffee. Until then,